There we go. Now we have audio. Thank you. Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of the stream. That means that you missed Steve's very loud dropping of things in the kitchen, so that actually worked out for your benefit. Tonight we're playing Uwe Rosenberg's Fields of Arle, published by Z-Man Games and Fjordland. This is a 1 to 2 player game, and it is big. It is a worker placement game, and it's got some heft. Steve's making himself a cocktail very loudly. I already made my cocktail, which is a chai tea with a little bit of espresso hazelnut infused vodka. So he's going for a more complicated cocktail. Anyway, Fields of Arle is a 1 to 2 player game by itself, and it's very large. And so what I was saying before I realized there was no audio, thank you, by the way, is that it's a table hog. This game is huge, and you can see, hey James, hey Kabuki, hey Dave, hey Nathaniel. So like, I actually couldn't get the entire game in the frame without making it go higher, which would just lose detail. And so like, this is what we're dealing with. So, it is big. So while Steve is making himself a cocktail, I am going to go ahead and do a quick breakdown of the rules. Chai tea with a bit of... it's chai tea. Chai tea.
Did you have to do any trading to get that tea? Do some trading to get the tea?
I did not have to get trading. We do have the expansion. Everybody was like, oh, the expansion. The expansion did just come out at Essen this year, and it just came out in North American or English stores a couple months ago. But we do have the expansion. We haven't played it yet because I am determined to get more plays of this game under my belt before we add the expansion. But I have read the rules for the expansion. That's really helpful. I have read the rules for the expansion. And yeah. James asked if we like it solo. We haven't played it solo. I don't play solo games unless I'm playing with Steve, in which case it's not a solo game then. It's like a co-op game. So yeah, I don't play solo games, and Steve plays solo games, but he doesn't actually enjoy these kind of games solo. When Steve plays solo games, he likes to have something that he's competing against, and it's usually fate. And in this game, you're just competing against yourself. It's just you and your decisions. There's nothing that changes the game. And so Steve doesn't really like those sort of solo games. So we haven't actually played this solo. This is definitely a game that we play and enjoy together. So yeah. So here we go. Let's go. There's more chat in YouTube tonight, which is interesting. And YouTube, normally we have it in Twitch, but you know, to each their own. So I'm gonna go quickly over the rules. Over the rules and how to play this game, and then you can see the details and specifics as you're playing. If you are trying to learn this game from this video, I just wouldn't recommend it. If you're trying to get an idea of how the game plays, that's awesome. That's what we provide. But like, this game is so complicated, I would recommend watching a dedicated how to play video. Because that's not what this is, and I'm not going to spend the 30-40 minutes required to teach it. So let's jump into it. So this is a worker placement game, and we each have our own fields and farms. And so we each have our own farm board, and it actually folds in half, so I have to be careful. And so this board is my field board. So this is my flooded area. So basically, like, the story is that in Arle, which is in East Frisia, which is in Germany, it's flooded, it's marshy land. And so that's represented by these marshes down here. And basically what we do is we have dikes, we build dikes to block the land and to start draining it. And then you can, during the game, to gain more access for more land, to expand and build more farmland and things like that, you'll actually move the dikes up. And when you move the dikes, you basically you're pushing the swampland back so you can have more dry land. And actually at the end of the game, you get -1 point for every row that you haven't pushed a dike all the way to the end. And when you move dikes, you have to move them in a specific way to like crawl them up. So now So this is, the game starts, and so the next time I move a dike, I have to do this to seal off this row. So now this land can be used, and this land can be used. Then the next time I move a dike, I'll move one of these two lower ones here up to the next level. And so again, this is still dry land, this is still dry land. This is not dry land. I can't use this tile yet. It's not technically dry until all 3 dikes are there. Then the next time I would move a dike, I can do that. And then the next time I would do that. And now this is dry land in addition to this, and so I can use those. And so you keep doing that movement through the game until you get up here, and there's a little -1 up here, because if you don't cover those at the end of the game, you will get -1 point per one not covered. So that's how the dikes and the lands move. In addition, you start the game with swamp. You have 3 big swamp tiles, and each of those is worth -4 points. And through the course of the game, you're going to want to flip them, which means that you've successfully drained the swamp. Comments and, yeah, we won't go there. But the drained swamp is still worth -1 point. And what happens is there's peat that's just like in the swamp that's there. And so when you flip it, you put the peat on it. And then throughout the game, you will cut the peat. So you'll remove the peat. And as soon as all peat has been removed from a board with peat, and you actually start the game with one tiny little baby swamp with peat right there. As soon as you cut all the peat on one of these tiles, it immediately goes away. It's gone. It's out of the game. And now you have beautiful dry land that you can like grow and cultivate. At the start of the game, you also start with a field for, it's not hay, what is it?
It's grain, I thought.
Grain. And then you also start the game with, let me mute my phone. You start the game with a flax field, which is pretty and beautiful. You start with the little tiny baby marsh, and then you start with a stall and 1 horse. So there's what you start with. But as you remove land, as you drain the swamp and remove the swamp tiles, you can plow the land and put in more grain fields, more flax fields, or you can actually plant and put in trees, which are forests, which will give you wood every round, which is nice. So that's kind of this board for the center. In addition, along the sides, you keep track of your basic resources along these markers. So at the start of the game, you start with the basic resources here, and there's little icons on the board to tell you that. But basically, you start with, you have 2 food markers, one at 0, one at 5. Then you start with 1 grain, 2 hides, 3 flax, and then 4 wool, just like wool that you just took right off the sheep. And during the game, at the end of certain phases in the game, your fields or your sheep will give you these basic resources, which you use to produce more refined goods and resources in the game. Oh, right. And then you have this thing on the side. And so those goods that you produce in the game and refine, you will ship to towns around the region. And when you ship to the town, you have to have a cart. Go into that in a minute. But basically, when you ship the good, you deliver what the town wants. And every town wants the same thing from everybody. And you can deliver as much or as little as you want to this town that they ask for, right? So they're asking for 5 different things, and you have to do at least 1, but yeah. But once you deliver to it, you flip it over and it's got a little road on the back, and you put it on this side of your board, and the last, or the smallest, or the number visible at the bottom of this track is how many points you get at the end of the game for your delivering goods. So it's kind of a smart way to track that. So that's this board. Then we have this board, which is our barns. And at the top, it has those towns that you can deliver to and all the goods that they want. And that's an anytime action to deliver them, but you have to have the carts and you have to have the goods. So up here you have the towns, and they all have little cute road art on the back. And then this is just an aid. So the game is going to take place over 9 rounds, and each round represents half of a year. So we alternate between summer rounds and winter rounds. And these little aids tell us what to do at the end of each of those rounds. So this is what you do at the end of summer. This is what you do at the end of winter. Okay? But in your barn, you are going to put carts and plows and peat boats, which help go through your marshes and pick up peat. Yay.
I'm sure Pete's happy about that.
You know, it keeps Pete employed.
Pete gets lost a lot.
So when you have a peat boat or a plow, they're going to go in the barn, and there's like little outlines in the barn of what spaces can fit where. The tiles are also double-sided, And so when you purchase them, you can purchase them for the base cost and then later flip them, or you can just purchase the better version, the flipped version, right out and do that. But you have to have room in your barn for the goods, and if you don't, you have to get rid of something. You have to get rid of a vehicle to put the vehicle in, but the different vehicles do different things. So the peat boat lets you turn peat, which you're going to get throughout the game, into a basic resource. So you can turn it into wool, you can turn it into grain, flax, hides, or food, and it's basically kind of just like a... It's like a tradesman. I don't really know. Like, Pete takes his boat, picks up some peat, and then he, like, goes across the marshes into town and trades it.
Well, it seems like you're also using it for fuel, so it's probably, like...
I think he takes the peat and trades it.
Well, yeah, right. He trades it, but it's like it's useful as fuel. So
other people like it.
Other people like it. Yeah.
So that's what the peat boats are for. Then you have the plows, and you need plows to make new fields in your marshland. So you need the plow to put in new grain fields or flax fields. And when you take an action that uses your plows, you will be able to put in as many fields as you have plows. So if you have 3 plows, you can put in 3 fields. So that's what plows are for. Then you start having hand carts and stuff. So this is a cart, and it's got space in the back for one basic good. And so through the game, you're going to pick up things like wood, which looks really, it's a log, and you put it in your cart, and at the end of the round, presumably somebody wheeled the cart someplace, and it comes back as nice finished timber in the cart. And that finished timber is worth half of a point, and you can use it to buy or trade or do different stuff. Same thing with clay, but if you put clay in the cart, you have to put a peat in the cart as well. So the cart goes along, and then when it comes back as a nice finished brick, which is worth a point. So that's what the cart is. Then you can get a better version of a cart, which is a wagon, like a old version of the red flyer wagon, basically. But it can hold 2 of those basic tiles, so you can get twice as much stuff. So that's what that is. Then, as your business gets better, and you're like, we have horses and stuff, you can get carts. And so these are, I'll just put this down. There's no need to hold this. But these ones don't fit in the small part of your barn. They have to go in the big part of your barn. And you only have 3 spaces for big vehicles in your barn. You can sort of see it right there. So you have to be more limiting with these, but they can carry more. So this one can carry 3 of those basic goods, or one of the things that you can do, and you will do during the game, is you'll take your grain or your flax or the wool that you get from your sheep, and you'll convert them into fabric. And so if I convert my flax into linen, right there, what I can do is I can put the linen in the cart. At the end of the round, somebody takes the cart into town and turns the linen into fancy shirts. And then those shirts are worth 2 points. Or I can trade the shirts and things like that. And so when you fill the cart up, you can fill it up with as much as you want. So like, let's say I'm going to town. I'm sending the cart to town. So I put a linen in, and I put a clay in, and I put a peat, and it goes to town like that. And at the end of the round, someone in town takes the peat and the clay, turns it into a brick, and then someone else sews the linen into a shirt, and when it comes back to me, that's what I get. So that's how the carts work, and you can pay more, or you can upgrade carts to get more space. So this one has 3 spaces, this one has 4 spaces, then there's a cart that is a little nicer, but it has 1 small space, and then this cab space, you can't put like clay or brick in there because it's too big. You can only put in like linen, or you can get wool and put a wool in the whole cart. So that's that one. And then that one you can flip over, and it's the big one, and this is the biggest cart that you can get. And you need the carts of larger sizes to complete contracts for different towns, because if you don't want to use the carts to produce better goods, what you can do is you can use the carts to send goods to towns. So if I had this cart, I could be like, oh, well, I'm going to do an essence delivery. So the idea is I put the town there, and then I trade whatever goods I want, and then at the end of the round, the town comes back, and it's flipped, and I put it on my score thing on the side of my board. But, like, I could do, this is going to Essence, and then I could, because I have space, like, be like, oh, look, there's a piece of wood on there, too. So, yeah.
Also important to note is that you do the flipping when you place them on, I think partly so you don't forget to do it.
Yeah, that's smart. So that's the cart, and so the town tiles are, like, different sizes. So, like, to go to Lear, you need at least a 3-size cart. And to go to Brenham, you have to have the 4-size cart. Like, it's the only way to go to Brenham, because it just fits. So that's the carts, and that's that.
And also, when you're delivering goods to those towns, that a lot of them have lots of different types of goods. Like, Oryx wants hides.
They want different things.
They want different things.
Yeah.
You have to provide at least one of the things to the town.
I said that, yeah.
Oh, you said that.
When you were gone.
So you can be strategic about what you deliver.
Yeah. So that is carts. So let's talk about, that's kind of like what you're doing for points. So you get points from delivering goods to towns, which is great.
We get food. Oh,
no,
okay,
you get points.
You get points when they go on the thing. Yeah.
For actually delivering the goods, you get food, but food, if you get enough of it, can be points at the end of the game. In addition, you get points for building different features on your farm, and you get negative points for not developing sections of your farm. So that's important. Then the other way that you get points is you refine goods. So you get bricks, you get like finished lumber, you get linen, you get wool, you turn your hides into leather, and then you can produce finished goods with those goods, and so you can make like leather coats and boots, and those are worth more points, and you can make wool coats, and those are worth more points, and things like that, and so you're converting goods. In addition, you can get points for animals, because it's a new A. Rosenberg game, so why wouldn't you?
Always points for animal.
Yeah. Wow, your cocktail's gone.
It was great.
There are only 3 animals in this game. There are pigs, sheep, and horses. You need horses to pull your wagons / carts. You need sheep to get the wool that you need to turn into like finished wool to turn into leather goods. And then you need cows to get hides to get leather. And actually you can get hides from anything, but you get more hides for cows. In addition, cows and sheep will give you food that you can milk them between rounds to give you food, which is nice. And then sheep, like I said, will give you wool between rounds. At the end of the game, you will get 2 points per animal that you have the least of. So last night I had 0 horses, so I got 2 points per horse, which was 0 points. So you do need to get, if you want points from animals at all, you need to get you need to get some of all of them. Then you get 1 point for your second most animal, and then you get 0 points for your most prolific animal. The animals do have babies between rounds after winter, so there's that. The other way to get points is buildings! So when you clear farmland, you can build buildings. So the buildings up here at the top, they are reoccurring buildings, so they help you there are always time actions, so like when you do something or at the end of a phase, things like that. So those are these buildings. Then all of the other buildings are they are immediate. So when you buy them, you do the thing the building says as soon as you buy the building. So different ones will give you different things, but they generally relate to a different part of the game. So like this one is you get extra goods for every sheep and cow that you have. So that one's really good. This one, for every fish trap you have, you get to cut more peat when you take it. So different benefits, and the costs are at the top for each of these building types. So that's a good way to get points. Down here, there are 3 categories of buildings that you can use. You use food to purchase them, which can be nice because at the end game, you will actually find that you have more food than you can track. And so spending the food to do this is pretty nice. So that's buildings. And then the last way to get points is for tools. So what's going to happen is we're going to take turns taking actions, and there's these little circles on the board, and we'll take turns. So like I'll go there, and then Steve has to go someplace. In summer, you can only take actions on this half of the board in the summer half, and no 2 players can take the same action in a round. But certain action spots correspond to tools. So these are tracks beside or like attached to the action spot. And when you go there, things happen. So like if I go to the woodcutter, per axe, I get 1 wood. And by default, we both start with 3. But what I can do is, throughout the game, I can upgrade my tools by paying for them and honing them so that I can increase, so that when I go here, I get 4 wood now. Things like that. Certain tool slots, if you upgrade them far enough, will give you points at the end of the game. So, in addition to giving you more resources and like better conversion rates and things like that throughout the game, upgrading tools will give you more points. So, yeah, that's important to do. And then, I believe that's it for points at the end of the game. Let's see here. Yeah.
You can get negative points if you don't supply enough food or heating.
Ah, yes. Okay, so the one thing I touched on, it's a Uwe Rosenberg.
Yeah.
You have to feed people between rounds. But the cost doesn't change. We both have 4 workers. You can never get more workers. You can never have less workers. Between every round, you have to give 3 food to your workers. And at the end of summer, you have to give 2 peat so that they can heat their houses through winter. So yeah, but if you don't do that, if you don't provide them enough heating or food between seasons, you will lose points. So yeah.
Yeah, 1 per thing you didn't provide. So not as brutal. There are Uwe Rosenberg games are sort of on a spectrum of how brutal they are for if you can't feed.
Yeah, but this game's like already pretty awful in that regard. Yeah.
Also, I just realized it's definitely not visible, but
no, yours is.
In the,
Well, yeah, you can't read it.
The icons that say 2 animals produce a baby. The baby one is like smaller and has
Just
shorter legs.
Slightly smaller.
Shorter legs. So yeah, we do not get meeples of those baby animals, but they're still adorable little icons.
Yep. So that is the overview of the game, and so now we're gonna start playing it.
Are you going first? I see you have the summer lighthouse.
I am going first. So the interesting thing is we alternate who goes first in which round. And so there's a starting play token for summer and there's one for winter. And so you just have the one that's yours. No, don't do that. Do that. So I have the summer, Steve has the winter, because he went first in summer last time we played, so this time we're going to do it.
However, you're going to say it.
I was going to say it.
Okay.
So there's one cool thing that you can do. I'm not going to go over each action space because I think it's just the nitty-gritty of like this, and you'll see them as we play them. Plus, like I said earlier, this is not a how to play video. This is just us playing so you can get an idea. Like I said, you can only go in the season that it is, except one player every round can go and do an opposite season action. So as soon as one player has done it, no one else can do it, but there's no limitation on who that player is. So in summer, Steve or I, one of us, could do a winter side action. However, if that happens, whoever did that winter side, whoever did the off-season action is going second next round. So for me, this round, because I'm going first in summer this game, it actually isn't that big of a negative for me to do a winter action, an off-season action, because I'm already not going first next season. However, if Steve were to decide that he really needed a winter action this round, and so he did a winter action, he would be giving me the first player winter token, and we would swap lighthouses.
Yep.
So, yeah. Cool, you ready?
I'm very ready.
I'm not. There's so much in this game. I never, know what to do. Yeah.
So what I had, it was pineapple juice, lemon juice, or
the cocktail.
Squeeze half a lemon.
Yeah.
About 2 ounces of pineapple juice, and then a couple ounces of that Crater Lake vodka that we got over the weekend. And then, I don't think I've ever done this before. It said wet the rim of the glass, chill the glass, and then dip it in sugar that's on a plate. So I had a little bit of sugar on the rim.
Oh, you stopped being so cute.
I'm usually not much of a garnisher, unless it comes to wages. But it was a nice garnish.
Alright, I forgot to tweet that we were live, so I'm going to do that right now. Actually, I should probably take a turn.
Proof of life.
Yeah. I just want to verify that I didn't screw up my board and make it not a valid starting board.
I think at the start of the game, you specifically just get rid of all your resources.
Just to start with absolutely nothing?
I'm pretty sure I saw that in the rules.
That seems vaguely familiar. No. Cool. I'm going to do the colonist action. So I get a horse, of course. Animals can be, there's a stall, it can hold up to 3 animals. Animals only make babies if they're in the same building together. Otherwise, you can put pairs of animals in individual fields that have been dried, or you can put single animals on the dikes, which is kind of funny. But they won't make babies. So I'm going to put my horse that I got in the stall. And then Colonist lets me flip one of my marshes, not Martians.
Martians.
And when I flip, I put the peat on, which is out of frame. And then it's Kyrus' turn.
I think I would like to send this worker to the master.
Tell us what you're doing, Kyrus.
I am going to the master, which per workbench, of which I have 2, I can upgrade a tool. And the cost to upgrade the tools are in these little blue banners.
Yeah, the blue banners are costs for anything. If it's not in a blue banner, that doesn't mean it means it's not a cost.
So I'm gonna pay 1 wood to upgrade my spades, which will allow me to cut more peat. And then I will pay wood to upgrade. I will get more access to an increased number of axes. And then that is my turn.
Sorry, I'm still tweeting.
Still tweeting. Do you need? I can help dictate if you need.
Am I tweeting?
Yeah.
I think I'm writing the URL, so I don't think you necessarily want to dictate the URL. But there we go. Okay. James said something. I think it was James said something about welcome to the pre-order will be up April 18th, and then it'll be available in very limited copies at Origins, and then main releases at Gen Con. Woo!
How many characters can you put in a tweet?
280.
That's... I'm trying to think of... I think, like, most books and films don't have 280 characters. Like, I think sometimes there's, like, crowd scenes and things.
I hate you so much.
Like,
you know, we still have to play this game together.
Crowds running from a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, movies like The Blues Brothers had, like, a crew that was credited, and they were the ones that dressed up in all the costumes for all the crowd scenes.
I just don't like you as a person.
Don't think it got up to 280.
Not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure I don't like you as a person. Okay.
Speaking of
I'm going to do the dike builder.
It's your turn.
So I get either a cow or a sheep, and I went really heavy on cows last night, which was okay. I'll do cow again. I'll get a cow. And they're just going to hang out in this field.
Don't have a cow, man.
And then I get to move a dike per shovel pair, and I only actually have 3 shovels, which is 1 pair of shovels, so I get to move 1 dike up. But now this land is dry, and I can use it, which is awesome.
If at first you don't succeed in draining your fields.
Dry again?
Yep.
Yeah. It's your turn.
Let's cut some peat. So I have 5 spades.
Yeah, Dave, that doesn't ring any bells.
Oh, darn it. No, you know what? I'm going to go to the warden. The warden is going to let me flip one of my fields.
I should mention, the Welcome to pre-order, that's April 18th. That is for home delivery or Origins pickup, but we only have a limited number of copies. So that print run is literally just to get it here now, because, like, the factory couldn't handle the print run, and we couldn't afford to do the print run that we would need to do for, like, a major release. So we're doing a smaller print run of Welcome to whet the appetite and to meet the, like, ravenous demand that's happening right now for that game. And then we'll do a larger Gen Con release. So it won't be in stores unless your store directly orders it from us via that pre-order campaign until August or September. So basically, if you want it, pre-order it.
Your turn.
Also, I don't want to talk about Deepwater Caves because I'm not working on that right now. I need to work on other things.
I caught you talking about it. You're in deep water.
I drained that one. Okay.
Also, thank you, James. Now I have this land as dry land stuck in my head.
Since when this land is dry land? That's a great song. I'm gonna go to the carpenter.
From California.
Oh, stop! I'm gonna spend 2 clay and 1 grain. I only had 1 grain to build a stall, and I'm gonna put my cow in it.
gonna cut 5 peat. Getting rid of my docks over here.
I'm to the dregs of the tea, and it's not worth the booze that's still in there. So I have 1 worker left. I'm not going first next round. I could, if I wanted, take a cross-board action. The question is, do I want to? And I feel like... Yeah, I know, each. I could do that. I have like a plan. I always do this. Like I do really well, and then the last worker, I'm like, but there's 17 things I want to do. What should I do with that last worker?
You could add 17 rooms to your house and make 17 baby workers.
It's not actually in this game. Not a feature of this game. Incidentally. I think what I will do is I will actually go to the cattle trader. So I will get 2 grain, and then I can get a sheep. Yay! I now have 1 of every animal. And then I can get a horse, or I can get a cow. And I think I will get a horse.
Of course.
Of course. Yes. I'll put that horse over here. Oof, okay.
Did I ever tell you...
Hey, Eden!
Did I ever ask you if you knew what a pirate's favorite Rosenberg game is? I'm going to pay a food to go to the forester, and instead of getting a building, I'm going to put forest down, which is 2 points, and then 1 wood every round.
Yep. Okay, so that's the round. So now we do seasonal changes. So, first things first is carts. We empty carts, but nobody has carts, so yeah.
Milk your sheep, milk your cows.
Milk your sheep and milk your cows. I have 1 cow, which gives me 1 food. And I have 1 sheep, which gives me no food. Then we get grain, flax, and wood. So I will get 1 grain and 1 flax for my fields. Steve will get 1 grain, 1 flax, and 1 wood because of his forest. And then we have to feed our workers and provide heat for them. So we have to do 3 food each, and then 2 peat.
Goodbye, Pete.
Bye. Yep. Cool. So then that is summer. And
Hi,
so
summer.
It's now winter. And Kairos goes first in the winter.
So after summer is when we get resources from fields, and then after winter is when we get babies. So it is definitely worthwhile to plan accordingly.
Yes. I'm a little early on my animal patronage, but I have plans.
Oh, and we are in winter, so that goes down. I am actually going to pay 2 clay
To upgrade again.
to upgrade my workbench.
Yep.
And then I think you can't use that upgraded workbench in that action. I remember there being a thing about it. I could be wrong, but I believe I still only get 2 upgrades.
Yes, you do only get 2 upgrades.
But I think I might upgrade my spades again.
Yeah, Steve got screwed last game on his marshes and peats. So it looks like he's going early on that one this game.
Yeah.
I'm just commentating.
Well, it's true. I did.
I'm going to the cattle trader again to get 2 more grain, a sheep, And I'll get a cow this time.
You know, there's another Uwe Rosenberg game you might like. It's called All Creatures Big and Small, and it's just focused on animal husbandry. And
Look, I just want to put... I now have pairs of all the animals, and so if I can get my sheep in a building, I'm set for animal production for this game. I mean, if you're... Without giving away my strategy too much.
If your fields flood and you got a boat, you could just put 2 of every animal on the boat.
Just one big boat. Yeah.
It's Pete's big boat. Pete's been working on it for a while.
Take a turn, Kairos.
Because you are already going for this next round. So, flipsy dipsies, feeling kind of tipsies. I guess you probably can't see it, but I've flipped my...
His 2 fields flipped.
I
mean, we could move these to move our boards in a little bit more. Actually.
Yeah, we could. Okay, so this is a hydrated moor, and that is a dehydrated moor.
Boop. How'd you tell we are married?
Synchronized sound effects.
Okay. I just need to put the animals. They're over here closer to me now, because I'm going to need them this game. Let me tell you. Oh, this kind of works. Look, it's a river running between our fields.
Wasn't there a movie about that? A river runs through it.
Have we ever played Not Alone? We have not played Not Alone. If I remember correctly, Not Alone is minimum 3 players? I think
I remember seeing it in stores.
2x2 on Pete's boat. Seems a little off. Since James. I apparently rubbed my eye. I didn't cook with any pepper. I don't know why that burns. Okay. I am going to go to this here. Oh my goodness, my eye. And I am building a stall with my last 2 brick and grain.
Wow.
I'm gonna go wash my hands and maybe my eye out.
Oh, oops. This horse should have gone into that stall.
Oh, yes. Sorry. And then I actually get the stall that I made. That's important. And now my sheep are in here, so they have a nice, comfy, secretive place to go.
I've stalled as long as I can, but...
Take a turn!
One thing we didn't mention that actually I didn't really realize until basically the end of last game, we do have an imitate action. So for 2 food, you can imitate any action. I believe on your side of the board, but I'd have to check if it's anywhere on the board.
What are you saying?
Can imitate the other season or only your current season?
Your current season.
Yeah, probably only your current season.
Oh goodness gracious, I pissed that out. Can't see, Captain.
Do you want right there?
I don't know what it was on my finger. I mean, maybe lemon juice from the lemon I put on chicken? I don't know. I didn't do peppers. There's nothing spicy in today's meal. No idea. Oh, it's not a loon, says 2 to 7. Okay. I think maybe I heard that it wasn't great 2-player. I think that might have been it.
When can you convert people? Can you always convert people into resources? Or is it
just watched your acquisitions video. I don't remember that video. Is that me? That's not me. Oh, it's Nutters. Hi, Nutters. I was like really confused.
So many decisions.
There's a lot of decisions.
There's really quite a few.
Yeah. This game has a lot.
Is that so, Miss Ichin? I think it is probably important that I make food.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yes. Yes. Do you have clay? You have clay. Do pottery wheel. You'll get 6 food from that if you do 2 of your clay.
Or if I did a grain and a peat.
Or you could butcher one of your horses.
No! I'm just gonna go to the bakery.
Okay. Bless you, Ichi.
Per oven. Oh, and I only have 1 oven. Pay a grain and a peat to get 6 food. Yeah, we've seen this in a couple of Rosenberg games. Definitely Glass Road, where you'll have a maximum number of resources you can have, and then different types of resource things, but one of them will be duplicated. So you can have 15 of everything, but because you have 2 food markers, oops, getting away from me, you can have up to 30 food, which I think is kind of an elegant way of saying you have more storage for food than the other things.
Yeah. Hey, would you mind feeding them? The girls? Not your cows. Or your people. Like the dogs.
I mean, do I get negative points if I don't?
Yes. In Ichi's mind, for sure.
They also know where we sleep, so.
What? Sorry, Echo just said something. Never mind. She just said something and then she was like, his name is Pete. And I'm like, she's definitely listening to the conversation. Like, we're aware of that. But still a little disturbing sometimes. I got this one over here.
Ichi, do you want something that starts with the letter D?
Like, this is as far as I've planned for my turn.
I mean, you're gonna get 3 babies. Who wouldn't just want 3 babies?
At all times, forever and always.
3 babies.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the grocer. And I remembered what I was planning to do. I get 1 cutting, which means I take 1 peat off my field. And then I get an animal of my choice. And the animal of my choice will be... I think I want the animal of my choice to be a sheep. I'm gonna put it out here. And then I get a wood and a clay. Alright. And it's Steve's turn, but he's just collected the dog bowls, so it's gonna take a while. Fields of Arle it's involved. But that's one of the reasons we really like it. Like, Feast for Odin is super involved, super decisions, and it works really well for its player count. Like, it works well at 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, but there's just, like, so much in that game, and then you have, like, all the Tetris-y bits and stuff, and, like, I have been feeling lately that, like, I really like this game, but we haven't played it or explored it enough, and I personally like it more than Feast for Odin. Steve likes Feast for Odin a little bit more because he likes the Tetris tile placement bit. Like, he loves games with that mechanic. He just likes putting tiles on boards to fill spaces. That's like his thing.
If you give me, like, last game, I filled up the delivery board in this game.
Yes. Like, if you give him a board to fill, he will fill the board. It's what he likes doing. So for Feast of Odin, like, he really likes that part of that game. And, like, he does really good at figuring out how to get the tiles to fill it. Whereas me, I'm like... I make an engine that has nothing to do with trying to actually win the game, which is, like, cover up your board. So, yeah. And we both really love Caverna, but Caverna is very large and there's a lot going on for 2-player that, like... It just does better at, like... I feel like with Caverna, it does better with a couple more players to help balance each other. Whereas in this game, it's so very, very well balanced for 2 players.
Yeah. In Caverna, it's nice if there's another player to block your opponent. Whereas in this game, you're the only one who can block your opponent.
Yeah, James, you're right. This game can have a lot of AP. A lot of the bigger Rosenberg games can have that problem. This one, especially for your first couple of games. Mm-hmm. Last night, at the end of our game, because we played yesterday, I really sat and I thought about what I wanted to do differently this game. I don't know if Steve did the same thing. I think he maybe did.
Nope.
No, okay. So, like, that's why going into this, I have a plan and, like, a goal and a strategy that I'm trying on this play of this game. So that's why my decisions are a little quicker, because I have a very clear vision of what I want to do.
My vision is...
Not get screwed by...
dehydration.
Yeah. I'm going to... I'm going to get a vehicle. So I can get this vehicle, which is the 3-slot cart, for 5 wood and a horse. And I have an extra horse. And I have 5 wood exactly. And so you have to discard the horse, but we don't like to discard the horses. We put them on the front of the tile because they're pulling the... They're dedicated to the cart, so that's what we do.
And that's what the rules say, is that you're not losing the horse. The horse is just no longer breeding because they're working. Alright, and that's it. End of winter and spring, I guess, because it says this is April. So it is May inventorying.
Yes. So what we'll do first is empty carts, which if I wanted to, I could put something on this cart. I have clay. I could turn it into a brick. I don't actually want to do that this round, though. So I'm going to hold on to that because I feel clay might be more useful for me there. Then for every 2 animals in a building, they make a baby. So I get a baby cow. And I get a baby sheep. And I get a baby horse. Of course. So yay! Then for every 1, 4, or 6 sheep, you get 1, 2, or 3 wool, fleece. And I have 4 sheep, so I get 2 fleece.
Or not for every, it's max. So you will only ever get 3 wool.
Yes.
Even if you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important. Then we have to pay 3 food. We don't have to warm anything, but yeah, 3 food. So I no longer have food. But I now have enough cows and sheep that unless I slaughter them, I will produce 3 food every summer now. Via my cows. No, I won't. I will produce 3 food at the end of summer, so I just have to find food in winter. So I don't have to worry about food for this round. For this season. And I still go first, so we put Steve on the bottom.
Did I mention I don't know what I'm doing?
And then it is now summer.
3 of 9. We are
Cooking!
Close to a third of the way through the game.
Whew, okay.
Look, at all this dinner over here that hasn't been eaten.
Tina, go eat your dinner.
You eat your dinner.
This is ARSM board gaming from Portland. I feel like ASRM board gaming would be like more chill. I don't know.
What's ASRM?
It's like a relaxing sound thing. Like there's certain noises and stuff. I don't know. When the dogs bark, we definitely don't have that. Okay. So this situation is good. I like this situation. I am out of things. So I'm going to go to the woodcutter to get 3 wood because I have 3 axes. I must axe. You have a question. Kyrus, it's your turn. Oh, I could have gotten a peat boat for 1 wood, but I didn't have peat boat wood, so I didn't. So there's that. ASR and board gaming. There was somebody who has a YouTube channel and they do unboxings occasionally, and they mark some of them as ASRM. So, and I have thought about it, but I talk too much and I can't not talk. Plus, I like talking and explaining game.
cut all my Pete.
Yep, good job.
Goodbye, Pete.
Wow, great. I have enough Pete. Sweet. I think what I want to do. You have done, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do the workbench, so I upgrade 2 tools. I'm going to spend 2 wood to upgrade my weaving loom, and then I will spend 1 wood upgrading my shovels. Now it's Steve's turn. The doggos are doing good. We took them for a pretty good walk this afternoon because it's starting to have spring weather here, so like there'll be crazy wind and then like crazy rain, and then it's like sunny and gorgeous, and then it will rain, and then it will be sunny and gorgeous, and then it will rain. And so this afternoon at like 4:30 there was a stretch that was just, it was really pretty, and we were like, if we don't walk them now. So we took them for a good walk. And then we also yesterday mowed, like, it's spring, so we did our first, well, it's starting to be spring. We did our first yard care mowing thing, and so they hung out with us outside, and so now the backyard is nice, and it was sunny enough that it was nice, so we, like, played in the backyard. Well, Steve played with them in the backyard while I made dinner, so they're pretty.
I would like a sheepy.
Also, number 9 is awesome. I've played it with 89 people, and it was fantastic. I've played it with 7 people, and it's also good. I've played it just Steve and I, and it's great. I play it by myself, and I suck, but I still enjoy it. So yeah. This is this is 2-player Hero Logic. Yep. Heroic Logic.
However, apparently the expansion goes up to 3.
Yes, the expansion adds a 3rd player. Okay. Now, because Steve took so long, I am going to go to the wool weaver, and I'm going to
pull the wool over my eyes.
No, I can convert 3 wool into 3, or 3 fleece into 3 wool, and so now I have 3 wool, which is nice. Let me put them over here, actually.
Yeah, and with these, you just have to make sure they stay on the side that you got them at, because the resources do have upgrades on the opposite side.
Yes. Your turn, Garrus. Agricola and Caverna have similar levels of choices. I feel like they're about on par. I feel like Agricola is on par with the choices that you have in Fields of Arle. Caverna, I feel, is a little easier. I feel like there's a little less choices and dedication. So yeah, I feel like Fields of Arle is... If you're playing full Agricola with the occupation cards and the career cards, I feel like that's about where Fields of Arle is. But there's no random... That's a lie. There is some randomness in these buildings that come up. There should be a farming game about making tequila.
I'll build the stall. So 2 clay and a grain. Your turn.
Okay. I am going to Yeah, each. Tell me more. Yeah. I don't really actually want to do that. I know what you want, dog. I don't want to give it to you. Yeah. True story. There were like a couple things I needed to do, and Steve took them, and I'm upset about it. Great. I'm gonna go to the clay worker, and I have 4 shovels, so I get 4 clay. And your turn. Oh, no, we did. Oh, that's true. Sorry. I'll just hide that. Thanks for the catch.
What?
We forgot to update the designer to Uwe Rosenberg. It said Erin Ander Vanderbeek. Yeah. She's very sensitive tonight. It's your turn. Oh, you forgot to turn that light on, too.
No, I turned it off.
No, and you were making cocktail. And I was like, let's turn it on.
Gross. I'm gonna get a cow.
Very nice, very nice.
And I'm gonna get a green. And I'm gonna get a hide.
Cool. I'm gonna load this cart with wool, which someone's gonna turn into finished winter gear when it comes back. You can load carts as anytime actions. Yay! There's like just bright, overbalanced white light coming from that corner, and I don't know why. You are very washed out, sir.
Should I not turn that light off?
I don't think that's that light. I don't know what it is. You're still... It's something over here that's very bright. It was that! It's still very bright.
You're very bright.
I am pretty bright. There we go. Better. Okay.
I was so washed out, you'd think I'd fallen overboard.
Okay, are you doing... You have no cart. Okay, so I empty the cart. Yay, I now have winter wear. Then I get 1 food for my sheep and 2 food for my cows, which is 3 food, which is great. That's what I need to feed people. But
I get
first,
1 food.
I get 1 green and a flax.
I also get...
And then I feed, which
green and a flax.
empties that, and then I use the last of my peat to heat people. To heat people. Oh.
Otherwise, they're not as tasty. What? And then I use the rest of my food.
Cool. Alright, guys. Can you go first?
Oh gosh. My workers fell over.
Well, hello, soft nose. Would you like something in Pacific? Whoosh. Hi. Okay. Yeah, I know what you want, but you're not gonna get it from me. Because I'm too short.
Might as well go to the master. Spend a void, upgrade my shovels.
Thank you for looking, that dog.
Oh geez, I get 3 upgrades, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's do 1 for the shovels,
2 for the show.
1 for the fish traps, and then 2 for the weaving looms.
I didn't realize there was an expansion for Ventureland.
Your turn.
We actually really like, what's the name of it? Maduras?
Oh yeah.
That's our Hobbit game. Also Karua. Also Rhino Hero. Also Tiny Park. I really like Tiny Park for like 4-year-olds and up, like 4 to 6-year-olds. It's really
It's
good.
like Tiny Bear and Park.
Yeah, it's really good. Great. I have to figure out food for my people at the end of this. Which is great. It's not great. I'm gonna go to the powder, and I'm gonna turn these 2 clay into 6 food and 2 peat, which is great because I was out of peat. Cool. Oh. Maduras? Maduras. Maybe it's Maduras?
Yeah.
It's like too far away in the dark and I can't see it. We did a playthrough of it. Long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a dog. I understand that you're a dog.
I'm gonna go to the wood. Can't. To the baker for my last grain and a peat. 6 food. Not doing great this game.
You are not.
Thanks for the support there.
Love you.
I appreciate your impartial appraisal of the situation.
Yeah.
If there's ever a game to not have a cocktail for, or ever a style of game,
I'm gonna go to the Dyke Warden, so I get to flip a tile for free, so I can upgrade this tile to a big wagon. And I also get to move a dike, so this one will go over here.
I'm in trouble, guys.
Mm-hmm. Steve's cheating. I wasn't watching for a sec. Not yet.
Working on it.
He cheated pretty bad last night. Yeah.
Go to the cattle trader.
Hi, Zena.
For 2 grain. 2 grain and a sheep.
Thank you. Thank you for those kisses.
And a cow.
Yes, you're a very good dog.
And I will move these horses out. Move these animals in. Hi. Are we now making requests over here?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something you want?
There is something that she would like, yes. Okay, I'm
you
gonna
ever
go
listen to the Rolling Stones, dog?
to the linen weaver, and I can weave 3 of my flax. It was 5. 2 linen. So now I have 3 linen. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, is it round 4?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, round 4.
I'll just take the full loop. Because you are already going first next round.
It's true. It's very true. Very true. Okay. I am going to go ahead and do that to do. I'm gonna make another stall. So I'm gonna do 2 brick, or 2 clay rather, and a green to get another stall so that these sheep can make babies. Boop. And then before the end of the round, or because I can do it anytime, I'm gonna load up my cart. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send some grain and linen to Essence, I don't know. But I'll get 8 food for doing that. And then I will do I think I'll convert this she's very active tonight. I don't know why. I'm gonna go ahead and convert this linen into a shirt, I guess. Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. I'll convert this brick into, or this clay into a brick using a peat, which might be a mistake. And then, F it, I'll do B more. I'll send my last peat, which gives me 2 more food. B more. This is my little cart with the horse on it. This is really cute. Yeah. And now it's the end of winter, and so we empties our carts. So, I put this cart here. So I already have 3 points on my, like, traveling road adventure thingy. And then this, it comes back, and it's a brick. Hey. And then we make babies. So I get 2. We get. Oh. I get 2 baby sheep.
I get a baby sheep and a baby cow. Because I have exactly 2 in each stable.
And I have... Yeah, you have to have exactly 2 in a stable. So you have to move... You have to have enough room for the baby to go into the place. So you have to... You might have noticed earlier, Steve and I moved our extras out. So, and now I have 3 horses. And then we feed people. And I think I'm set on food for a while. So, there's that. And then my sheep... Actually, before we feed, my sheep give me stuff. And I have 6 sheep, which I get 3 fleece now, which is nice. So there you go.
It is spring.
No, this game is nuts. Like, Feast for Odin does have about as large of a footprint at 2 players as Field of Arle.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Alright. So there's certain things that I need to do. Like, have to do. And I think they're gonna involve me going to the worker. Or the thingy, woodcutter.
Woodcutter.
To get 3 wood. And if I don't do them, I'm hosed. Fields of cardboard. I like it.
I'm gonna go to the clay worker because I want 4 clay. If you don't mind.
I don't. I'm going to go to the masters, or the master, and I'm gonna upgrade workbenches. So I'm gonna spend 1 to upgrade my spades, and then I'm going to spend another 1, actually 2, to upgrade my weavings 1 more notch. Carries, it's your turn.
It is my turn. It's probably time I start plowing. So, for wood and a horse, I can start plowing.
Of course. Oh, horse.
Oh, and I actually get to do lost that field.
Alright. I'm going to go to the peat cutter, and I get to cut 5 peat, so I can do 3 from this one and 2 from this one, which means that this is off my board. Which is great. Oh, I put that peat in the thing. I get this peat. This peat is important for me to have.
I will go to the forester. Spend food. Get a forest.
Yep. I am going to go to the colonist. It's my last one. I think what I really want I can't do. But I could imitate. I have enough food. Could imitate. I know, E.G. I don't know if you all can hear her groaning. She's like laying on the floor looking very pointedly at the fridge, which on top of is the Chewies, and she's like groaning. It's great. Night, James.
Good night, James.
I could take a winter action because you go first next round anyway. But is there a winter action I want to do? I think the answer is no. But maybe there was. Or is. Or it could be. You know, time travel. What? There's a very specific thing I want to accomplish, and I'm not going to accomplish it at the rate that I'm going. There's a problem. So I need to just do it. So I'm going to go to the wood trader, and I'm going to spend a food, and I get 4 wood. And Steve gets to go.
I will go to the colonists.
Yes.
Of course, I'll get a horse. And
hi.
Dehydrate the last field.
Brian.
Important Star Warsing. I think
Hi.
Fiddleback Brian is the star in Star Wars. I will put it that way. And by star, I mean the white hot, dangerous, terrifying ball of nuclear fusion that will eventually destroy us all.
Yeah. Okay. So
definitely the star.
Definitely the star. Okay. I am going to ship some stuff.
Hello, little one who's making requests.
Yeah, we should feed her or something.
I mean, we did, and then she was like, "Nope."
Oh, it's your choice. That's what we should do. Ichi's like, "What? What is this word you use?"
Oh, are we in?
No, we're not quite.
Yeah.
Well, we are, but I have to load my cart. Hi. Hello.
Good night, Netters.
Oh, night, Netters. Yeah.
Or maybe that was
Brian Fiddleback is the GM for our Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game that we play on Thursdays in the month of April. And it seems like he's late to this stream because he was working on writing the story for Thursday's game, which Steve and I have been talking all weekend about how much we really enjoyed playing. So thank you, Brian.
And how doomed we are.
Yes, how excited and also how terrified we are. So, how doomed we are. I have to take a turn. I have to load my carts. So there's no reason not to put a linen in the cart, because, why not? And then, I will put, these sheep are getting a little too populated, which is fine. So I'm going to actually load them into this town, Arle.
Are you sending them to the farm upstate?
Yeah. So I'm going to get a sheep to give me 4 food. And then I could get rid of one of my horses too, but I actually don't want to do that. So that's the cart loading that I'm doing this round. Then it is the end of the round, and we,
Kabuki Kid says that Pete and Repeat were in a boat, and Pete fell out. Who is left?
Repeat.
So, Pete and Repeat were in a boat. Pete fell out.
This is very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. That was a good one.
So we empty carts. So I put this on my adventure board.
I should start filling that.
You really should. And then I also get my linen shirt. It's very nice. It's fancy linen. And then we have to then we produce stuff. So I get a flax and a grain because I just have one of each of those. And I get no wood because I have no forests. Kyra's gets 2 grain, 1 flax, and 2
I didn't
wood.
upgrade my weaving looms the last time. I upgraded fish traps, weaving looms, and...
Sure you did.
I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Get your stuff.
What stuff am I getting? All of it?
2 grain, 2 wood, and a flax.
And also...
And then I feed people.
It's also 3 food from my animals.
Oh, right. I forgot to get food for my animals.
And then 2 grain,
I actually
flax,
get...
and 2 wood.
I have 5 sheep, which gives me 2 food, and I have 4 cows, which gets me 2 food. So I get a net of +1 food after I have to feed people. That's what I wanted. My food engine is almost secure.
Very nice. And I go 1, 2.
So yeah, and then we reel it back. Oh, 2 Pete. Did I do the 2 Pete?
Repeat?
I did not. Okay, so then
I didn't do the 2 Pete. Speaking of cheating.
Mm-hmm. And now it's winter. Wait. This is our...
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa! We're running low on turns here.
Dave doesn't get it. I get it. Okay. Ah!
Alright, I'm finally gonna do it. Going to the Wainwright.
Dang it.
I'm getting the big cart.
Mm-hmm.
For 7 wood and a horse. Horse goes up here.
Of course.
And then a peat boat is just 1 wood.
Yeah.
So I will use all 8 wood to also get a peat boat.
Great. Awesome.
Are you happy about this turn of events?
No.
I can see it on your face.
Am not, actually. Okay. So I need to do some stuff that I didn't do, but it's fine. We're all fine here.
How are you?
Fine. I'm going to
Hello, dog.
go to the Builder's Merchant, which gets me 2 hides and a wood or a clay. I'm gonna go with the wood. And then I also get a timber or a brick, and I'm gonna get a brick. And then it's Kairos' turn, and I'm going to be short and get the cheese.
Whoa. I mean, there's some other ones over there who are short, judging by the length of their legs.
You want this one? Here, let's. Can you take it? Alright, Ichi, you pick which one you want. You can't have both. There you go.
She thought about it.
She did. She was like, how do I get both of these into my mouth?
Alright, now that the excitement is over.
Hopefully no more growling. Da, 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 da. I love this game! So, we didn't do like a formal 10 by 10 or like 20 by 20 or anything like that, but what I did do is I use VG stats to track my playing, because if I don't, I like forget stuff. It's also helpful for work reasons. So
for people who don't know, what's a 10 by 10 or 20 by 20?
So a 10 by 10 or a 20 by 20 is basically, it's like a New Year's resolution where you say, we're going to play these 10 games 10 times, or we're going to play these 20 games 20 times. And so what you can do in BG stats, some people like make charts, like paper charts and stuff, and they fill it out, or if they do bullet journals, they like do it in there. But you can actually load those into BG stats, which is an app for tracking your games and plays, and it hooks into Board Game Geek, but you can add the challenges. So you could be like, I want to do a 10 by 10, and you can say what 10 games you're going to play, and when you log the plays, it'll track them and be like, oh yes, you did. You're like this far done with your stuff. So what I did was last year I started actually tracking my plays with BG stats around like August. I kind of half-heartedly did it at first, and then I got like really seriously committed at the end of August, beginning of September. And in the 5-month period, like 5.5-month period that we logged plays, we logged 282 plays with like 200 and something unique games. It was crazy. So this year, what I did was I set a goal to play 300 unique games in the year, which I will definitely do. And, like, unique games, just, like, period. Not, like, unique as in I've never played them before, if that makes sense. And then, which I could probably even do, maybe still. But I set a 25 by 5 challenge, which is, I just wanted to play 5 games 25 times. But I don't care what the games are. Like, I didn't put in the system what games I was playing 25 times. I'm letting it track that. And I just wanted to see if I could replay things 25 times. Or 5 times. 25 games 5 times. And this game, I decided, is the first game that I want to be like, yes, I want to play this 5 times. And so, because it's a bigger, heavier game, it's more process. So I asked Steve if he was cool with it, and he was like, yeah. So this is going to be, like, the first, like, locked-in game that we're going to play 5 times. I have already played games 5 times this year, and I can talk to you about those later. But this is, like, the big, this is the first one that we were like, yes, we are going to play this at least 5 times this year. So I'm really excited about that. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to take a turn. I had a plan. The plan is to go to the stall. Sorry, I'm going to spend my 2 bricks to upgrade one of my stalls to a stable. And so you don't flip it, you actually return it, and you get a stable tile. So yeah, and now I can have up to 6 sheep, which is great. So I'm going to put 5 of them in here.
You actually want to put 4 in there because you'll get 2
That's right. I want to put 4 in because I'll get 2 babies. And so this sheep can just hang out on its own over there. So there we go. And that was my turn. So let me just really quickly load up my BG stats to tell you what I've played 5 times. The ones that we've played 5 times so far this year are kind of no surprise. So we have done Charterstone 5 times because we finished a campaign.
I'm at 2 for 2 food.
We did the last half of the campaign starting this year, so it's done. And we actually want to replay Charterstone, just the 2 of us. And we might do something like broadcasted. I don't know. Maybe we'll do an After Dark Charterstone where like we don't filter ourselves. This is us filtered, by the way. Like, yeah. We played Circle the Wagons 5 times. Played Doodle Rush 4 of 5 times. I really like that game. I need to play it again. But it's better in like a group party setting.
Your turn, by the way.
We have Gaia Project 3 of 5 times. I definitely want to play that 5 times this year, but it's not like a thing.
Gaia Project is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I really do enjoy it 2-player. Okay, so I did that, and I have that, and you went there, which sucks for me because I was going to do a thing.
Oh, I did the wrong imitate.
I mean...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but...
Oh, no, it does, because you've already done that.
No, that's what I mean. I already did that.
Well, no, but it does matter.
Yeah, it does matter.
You were like, it doesn't matter, but it does matter. Does matter!
I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
Alright, I'm going to go to the tanner, and I can turn these 3 hides into 3 pieces of leather.
Sounds like a full house.
Something like that. Let's see, what else do we have? When is Zia planned? Steve played solo so far, and he really is excited to play solo again, and he wants to play it solo one more time before we play it 2-player. And then once we play it 2-player, we'll figure out when we're going to stream it. So there's that. Well, that's glitchy. There it goes. Jaipur been played 5 times this year, because duh. Kokoro, Avenue of the Kanama, played 5 times, because duh. Majesty for the Realm, played 5 times, because duh. Duh meaning it's a really good game, so no doubt we played it that many times. Star Realms, 5 of 5. I played the snot out of Star Realms on the app when I was sick, so I counted those. Unpublished Prototype, played 5 of 5. Wonder what that is.
An unpublished prototype, maybe?
Yeah. I've actually, I don't log them as the names that they are, but yeah, I've played, yeah. Okay. Then we have Welcome to, played 5 of 5, which is good. So those are the ones that I've played 5 times so far. Doesn't say how many I've completed. But yeah. Those are the ones we've played 5 of 5. And I'm on track to play 5 of a few other ones. So, like Fuji Flush, always play Fuji Flush at cons, so. There's a couple of Deepwater titles that I'll definitely have played 5 times. I don't log my plays of Herbalism when I'm demoing it because I don't actually play the full game. But if I had, I've played it like a ton. Count. Yeah, I don't really log demo games. So, yep. But so far, let's do our insights. So far for 2018, I have played 155 games. Like I've done 155 gaming sessions, and that doesn't include demos and things like that. 81 unique games. 52 new to the system games, not necessarily new to me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the master again. I'm gonna upgrade my workbench.
And I've played with 46 named players, which isn't accurate. I've basically played with. Yeah, it's weird too. So yeah.
Upgrade my reading.
I've played 65 days. So out of the year so far, I've played 65 days. I've played games 65 days in the year so far. Which makes sense because I got sick and did not play anything. There were days where I was just like, nope. So yeah. My H index which means I've played X number of games X times, at least, is 6 right now.
Alright.
Because I've played 6 games at least 6 times. So yeah, there we go. That's my nerd stats for the year so far.
And then I'm gonna turn that for food.
Kabuki finally played Charterstone. Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it. We really, really like it. Okay.
And I'm gonna turn in 2 grain for full food.
I really want the thing, but
I have a plan and I'm not executing it well at all.
Well, it's glad that you have. I'm glad that you have a plan now because you didn't originally. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Zaya is fun solo, but you basically you get to take your turn and then you do need to do the 3 or 4 NPC turns. So it can sometimes feel like a while before it comes back around to your turn again.
I'm gonna do the wood trader to get 4 more wood. And then I have to pay a food for that. And then I'm gonna load my cart. I have the big cart, so I can go to Brennan, but I don't want to go to Brennan yet, but I could. You've already loaded your cart. I'm gonna load this leather in so it becomes refined leather goods. And then I guess I don't have a plow, so I'll put this wood in and it will become timber. Okay.
Wood.
I loaded. So let me uncart and then there we go.
Alright, so these go to my Adventureland.
Yep, I didn't have an Adventureland this round. I could have, but I didn't. Then I make barbers. So I get 2 sheepies in my stall because I have 4.
I get 1 sheep, 1 cow, and 1 horse.
I make 2 babies per 1 baby per pair if I have room, and then I get a horse, or that's a cow, but yeah. Oh no, I forgot to move this out. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine.
2 wool from my 4 sheepies.
I get a horse.
Of course.
Yay. Okay. And then I have 7 sheep, so I get 3 fleece. And then we feed. I feed for
1, 2, 3.
Okay. And then I go first. Which means you go under me.
Alright, it is year 5, round 7.
Terrifying.
No, year 4, round 7.
It's our second to last summer.
Not doing very many things that get points.
Did you just go over and steal it?
I think you're done with that.
There's a bigger one on top of the fridge. I could luck with that. Okay, like, I've done really good on the animals, but, like, I need other things. So, I'm going to get a plow? Do I want a plow? I don't think I actually want a plow. I know what I want, but I can't get it. But I could get it, but I can't get it. How many points is that worth? I'm gonna go.
She does something.
I was like, she did steal it. Okay. She at least thank you. Alright, I need to go.
The H index isn't on BG. It's only in BG.
Colonist.
It's only in BG stats, right? It's not in BGG.
Which one?
The H index. Kid was saying they don't know where to check.
It's only on BG stats. It's a thing that BG stats does. Yeah. It's in the insights on BG stats.
Well,
oh, I got a horse too.
Let's do this. Let's get another plow, which is going to be 1 wood and 1 horsey. And then 2 more fields. And they will be green fields.
Okay then. I'm going to go here and do clay worker. So I got 4 more clay.
I will weave some wool. 4 weaving looms. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4 fleece into 4 wool.
So this is a fun one. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Right.
Are you ready, kids? I'm gonna go to the carpenter, and I'm gonna build a building. And I'm going to build the milk house in. So this is weird. So first I have to spend 2 things that aren't the same. So I'm gonna spend a wood and a clay. Not a big deal. Then I get a cow, because of course. And then per cow that I have, I get a peat cutting. And so I could have flipped 1 more tile and like cut everything, but it's fine. So I have 6 cows. So I get 6 peat, which is all that peat on this field. So there's a cow. Yay!
Very, very nice.
But this cow has this has to go on my field before I cut. So I have and it would have to go there. And now I have all of this land that I can put my mini animals into. So yay! I'm actually gonna put 2 horses down here. I'll move the cows to down here. 2 more cows there. Yeah. Then I'll move 1 of the sheep here. Actually, I'll do it up. And then the sheep can just hang out.
I'm just gonna go to the woodcutter and do 4 wood.
Yep. Alright. I am going to do the master to do a workbench upgrade. So I'm going to upgrade my slaughtering table. Don't worry about why. It's fine.
It's for slotting.
Yeah. Slatting things into place. And then I will go ahead and do... Oh, sorry. I have to pay the 9 food for that. That's part of that. There you go. Okay. Then I get to upgrade one more thing. What is your favorite color? I will upgrade my Tanner's beam.
I will imitate you for 2 food. The clay worker. And get 4 clay.
Hey, Spot Monk. This is not Agricola, but it's by the same guy who did Agricola, so yeah. Some similarities.
There's still animals, and time still passes.
Yep.
And you still need to feed people.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do some cart deliveries. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do these 2 here, and then I'm gonna do to Norden the wool coat that I have had for a while. Boop. So for the wool coat, I get 7 food. There again. And then into the round we unload our carts. Yay!
I have bricks.
I got more carts. And then we get milk from our animals. I now have... I don't have enough sheep, but I get 5 food from all my animals now.
And I get 3 food. 1, 2, 3. And then I pay 3 food. 2. And then I get 4 grain. 4. And 2 wood from the forests. And then 1 flax from the flax fields.
Cool. Cool. Alright. And you go first. Oh, we have to feed people. I did not. So I spend 3 food and 2 feet.
Last winter of the game.
Ah!
Terrifying.
Yep. My body is ready.
I'll go to the Wainwright and spend 5 wood. No. I'll go to the woodcutter. No. I'll go to the wood trader. Spend 1 food to just get 4 more.
Okay. I'm gonna go and get another vehicle. And I'm gonna get the fancy carriage. I'm just gonna go straight to the fancy carriage, which is 6 wood and 2 horses.
Oh, you get a lot of points for that.
Yep. So 6 wood, and it's the same size as that one, but you get more points. 2 horses.
For 1 less wood and 1 more horse.
Yeah. Well, of course, I have lots of horse.
I do not have lots of horses.
Oh, I could get a peat boat, but I don't have enough wood, so it's fine. Oh, peat boat lets you convert stuff at the end. I will use my timber to get a peat boat.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah, you can always use the better version for the lesser.
Really?
On clays and woods, yes.
I did not know that.
That's why,
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Let's do some weaving. 4 weaving looms. 1, 2, 3, 4. horses.
Okay, I'm gonna go to here, and I'm gonna upgrade with 2 brick to another stable. And this time it's gonna be for my cows. Whoosh, whoosh. Hey cows, what's up? Go in there. No. What are the orange things you're keeping bits in? These are felt tray bowls. If you're watching on Twitch, if you scroll down, there's a picture of them and there's a link. Our friend Nutters makes them on her Etsy shop, and we love them. We have a lot of them. They fold flat. Well, they don't fold flat. They are flat when you're not using them.
7 wood.
And then when you need a bowl, you can just snap them together like that. And then for storage, you can actually snap them together. Oh no! Oh no, Nutters!
What?
The new bowls she made us, the snaps are on opposite sides, so they don't actually snap together. No, they do, but not like.
Oh, but
yeah,
they snap together, just not with the old ones.
No, yeah, they don't snap together with
but they snap
so
together.
So you can snap them together, and then you can throw them in your bags. So actually, when we go to game nights or whatnot, we bring a bunch of these for the games, and it's nice. And we now have 16 of them because we like to have them for player colors and stuff.
It's your turn, buddy.
It is my turn. I'm going to the butcher. So I can slaughter 3 animals. Sorry, cows. So I'm gonna slaughter 2 cows and a sheep. Oh, sorry. Oh no, I did get rid of my 2 horses. That'll work. Yeah, 2 cows and a sheep. So the 2 cows will actually get me 4 food each. So I will get 8 food from my cows. And then the sheep only gets me 3 food. And then I'm just gonna do that to make my brain easier. And then I get 2 hides per animal, so I will get 6 hides. Or, yeah, there. We do have a lot of bowls. But Steve was playing some game recently and had to use 8 of them, so...
That was Zaya.
Oh, Zaya. He said Zaya needed 8 bowls.
You can go to Bremen, you just have to have them all...
Flipped.
Yeah.
Yes. So you could go, but I couldn't. Yet. My 2 horses that I discarded, they should have gone in the front of my fancy carriage. Forgot about that. There we go.
These need to flip. Let's actually go to Bremen, so I'll do 1 of each of these for 12 food. Ah! And then I will give up a plow. Sadly, and the horse. Sorry, horse. To go to Dornum for another 8 food. And then I'll turn a clay into a book. Okay. Things happened.
I'm proud of you. I'm going to...
Oh, I haven't taken a turn yet. That was just me putting the cart before the horse.
Oh, I have to do that too. But I can't go to Bremen right now. I'm 8 or 9. I guess it's 8.
I'll just go to the grocer. Get a horse.
Of course.
And then a wood and a clay.
It's actually really interesting.
Peat cutting.
The better goods that you send, you get more food, but I actually don't need more food, so I don't really want to send goods.
And those goods are worth points, so
Yeah.
that food is not necessarily worth points.
Exactly. So, sorry, I was looking at that stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to the tanner, and I can turn 5 of these hides into leather, which is great. There's a little handy dandy 5 leather thingy, so I'm just gonna use that. So I now have 5 leather, which is interesting because you can turn it into 12 things, but I don't. Can you maybe put more? Can you stack up? That doesn't seem right, but maybe you could. I don't think so. I don't believe so.
Can I control Z slightly?
No.
Very slightly.
Yes.
I just want to get my plow back. And I will return the 8 food that I got.
And the thingy about loading the carts. Yeah, you can't stack. Bummer. Okay. I'm going to load some carts. Yes? Yes, I'm loading carts. I had a plan. I'm going to Edmonton, for just a peat, which is 3 food. And then I will also send one to Hag. I'm gonna get rid of my 1 flax field, which is kind of whatever. Don't need you anymore. Actually, I'm gonna do my grain field. There. And then I will do. Still can't go to Bremen, but I can go to Lear. And I got rid of my. Or I didn't get rid of my flax field. Well, I can't. I'll send a flax for 2 food to Lear. Which is that. There's only space for 1 more thing, which I can't do. There's like a thing. Apparently, you can send peat. There's a token place building that lets you send peat, but otherwise you can't send peat. There's a thing that says you can send peat. Oh yeah, there's a building that lets you put peat, like you load peat in your cart and then you can send it. But I don't have that building. So I don't have a plow either, so I can't go to Dortmund. So I'll just do this. So that's my loading of the stuff. So then we empty carts. So I load my things up.
I load that up. And resources come off.
And then that was winter. So I get babies. So there's 2 sheep.
And then I just get 1 of each.
And then I get 2 cows. And then I get 1 horse, of course. There's a horse.
Then wool.
Yes. So I have a lot of wool, so I will get 3.
I will get 2. And then I feed 3.
And then I go first next round. So I have to make some decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put your deeds down so I can get on top of you? Please and thank you.
9th round, 5th year.
Ooh.
There is no winter.
It's the final
live in
round.
the now. Final countdown. Final round.
Okay. Final round. Final countdown. Final words. Alright. I'm going to go to the colonists because I have to flip this. I lose 3 points if I don't, so I flips it.
Yeah.
And I get another horse because I needed more horses in my life. Kabuki caught my final countdown. Yep.
All right. I think I go to Lear.
Okay.
No. Oh. No, I am. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Dornum and get rid of that plow. Need food. 9 is 17. And then I'm gonna go to the carpenter to building. So we'll do 3 bricks and 3 lumber.
Which building are you gonna get?
Are you surprised?
I mean,
Are you curious? I'm gonna do Biram Castle. Can't join them. If you can't bear them, join them. Ovens and weaving looms each go up 1.
Nice.
And I get a flip. And I'm gonna flip.
That forest?
Yeah, because I'm not getting a lot on the... I'm not getting a lot on the goods track. So that would be other flips, and then those are mostly flipped. And that was 15 food.
Yep. Yep. I was like, oh, I'll do this, and this, and this, and this, and then I was like, oh, wait, I can't. So... I'm gonna go to the Weaver, and I can weave 4 of my wool. So I go down to 7, and I get 4 wool, which I actually have 5 of, so I'm just gonna get the 5 wool. Actually, that's like, I'm gonna make change here in a second.
Interesting.
Take a turn.
You know, you'd think the proper strategy is to take a turn, but it's not necessarily the case. To the builder's merchant with me. No. To the grocer. So I'll get a green, hide, and get a lumber, actually.
Okay. I will go to the builder's merchant. For a wood and a brick. And 2 hides. Ah, wait. No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
No.
Can't. You can't go there.
You can't go there?
No, because I already went there in my turn.
I'm gonna pay 2 food and imitate myself to do a building.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna do a lumber and a brick to do this smokehouse. Just temporarily move these sheepies to those dikes. So per fish trap, 1 peat cutting. I have 3 fish traps, 3 peat cutting. Ah!
Yeah, you get those. Oh. They were talking about most bits. Okay. I thank goodness I'm going there to do the building. Did you pay your 2 food, by the way?
Oh, I didn't realize that was a spot.
That's okay. I'm happy that you didn't realize that was the spot. I can pay. I'm going to the textile house.
Did I not realize that?
I don't know. Don't know, Kairos. Ooh, or do I do that? I get 6 points by spending the turn doing that instead, which would have mean that I would have done something different on my previous turn, which means I should retcon. Yeah, so we just won't. So I'm going to build the textile house. So I'm gonna trade in this brick and 2 items of clothing that are not the same. So I trade in 4.5 points. Actually, 5.5 points to get 9 points. But I also get the raws of all of those, so I actually get 12 points out of that. So it's not as good as maybe the other option, but I actually think it's no, it's the same. 6.5 points versus 6. But I could have done something. Okay. It would have been better No, I couldn't have done it anyway. My decision was good. I'm like retconning myself in my head. Yes, Kabuki is a wargamer and a solo gamer, and responsible for Steve discovering games that he would like.
Indeed.
Kabuki. You say that with love.
Yep.
It's your final turn, Mr. Kairos.
It is. It is.
Feels weird to call you Mr. Kairos.
I think
I just prefer to call you Kairos.
through all of it,
Through thick and thin.
thick and thin, I think what I really want to do
Oh, excuse me. Is play this again immediately
is
after?
just right away.
Right away? It took you a long time to get to right away.
Right away. Just the warden gives me 4 points. And room for some aminals.
Okay.
And then I will load up some stuff.
Yep. Alright, loading. I have to load now. So I never got the plow, so I'm not going to Dorman, but it's fine. And I actually only get 2 points by going to Brenham. So this is an interesting one. I actually only get 2 points by going to Brenham. But I have to spend 3 points to do it. So it actually is not in my interest to do that.
I'll go to be more.
So I'm not going to do any of that. Instead, I'm going to load my car, with goods. So I'm going to do a leather here and a timber here. And then I'll do 2 linen shirts in that one. And that is how I will load my
actually
cards.
doesn't get me a point.
Do you have food to feed your people
Yeah.
at the end of this round?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I mean, you do have a people. It's true.
Yeah. I am actually just gonna.
So then I empty my boat. And then I get
Oh, I got the one with the dragon.
it's a silhouette of a dragon, yeah.
Silhouette of a dragon flying over.
I actually get 6 food, which I can't get anymore, so I max out my food. And then I get a flax because I don't have grain anymore. I don't get wood.
5 sheep, so I get 2 food.
And I spend 2 peat.
And I have 5 cows.
And 3 food.
So I get 5 food.
And then we have the endgame stuff. So I can convert this 4 peat with my boat to something useful. So I will convert it to 4, yeah.
I'm gonna pay my 1, 2, 3 food.
Yeah, either way, I'm just 4 away from 1 extra point on all of them. So I'll just do this one for that. And then that's it for conversions and things.
I will just turn in 4 peat to go 1 to put my flax up to that.
Okay. So, now for scores. There's a score pad, because why isn't there? So first things first is clothing tiles and building materials. So the like raw tile bits that are over here. What points do you get? So I get points. I actually didn't convert this into a coat.
11.5.
Steve gets 11.5. I get more than that. I'm gonna do this. That's 7, 8, 9.5, 10. And then
Yeah, you've got a lot more points than I do, so I think you've got it, but we shall
6,
see.
8, 10. I got 21 from building and clothes. Equipment in the barn! I get 8. Your barn is a bit more full.
I also get 8.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Because you had the
Oh, that's right. I have
pointer.
a fancy one.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
still have one plow left.
Travel experience. It's how far you went on your road. I only got 7.
I got 5.
Okay, and then tools. So tools are the centerboard. So you just sum up that. So I only got 5.
12.
Goods track. So this stuff. So that's 7 for me.
3 for me.
And then victory points on the home board. And I actually am going to lose a good amount because I don't get my dikes up. And I have -1 here. So there's that. So I start at -4. Okay.
35.
Wow! See, I only got 20 from that. Animals! So the animals in our barns don't count because they're pull-in carts and stuff. So the animal that you have the least of, the animal type you have the least of, you get 2 points per. And then the animal type that you have the second least of, you get 1 point per. And the animal you have the most of, you get 0. So I have the most sheep, so I get 0 points for my sheep. But then I have 6 horses and 6 cows.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I'll get a total of 18 points. I have 6 cows, 2 points per cow.
Oh, yeah.
And then 6 horses.
Yeah.
So, because if it's tied, you don't...
Yeah.
That would be so broken. I don't think on ties, if there's ties.
No, yeah. Sadly, so I have 5 sheep, 5 cows, and only 3 horses. So I get 6 points for my horses, and then 5. So I only get 11.
Okay. Wait, why do you get 5? You don't get 11.
Yeah, 2 points per horse, which is 6 points, and then 1 point per sheep or per cow.
Oh, yes, you're right. I was doing it backwards in my head. Okay, supply bottlenecks, which means, like, we didn't feed people or do anything like that, and we didn't have any of those, because we're good people. I don't know. I think it's going to be really close. I actually think this is going to be pretty close.
Oh, I spent that P.
Steve has 85.5. And then Tiffany.
I should not have traded in my plow. I keep forgetting plows are 3 points, which is pretty incredible.
Well, because they cost you a horse.
No!
86! I won by half a point!
Half a point.
Half a point! Ah!
Okay, I definitely shouldn't have traded in my plow.
Well, but didn't you, I guess maybe you didn't for feeding. I don't know. That's amazing.
I mean, you get a lot of food, and I did use it. It was, yeah, I got 8 food, and I made use of it. But
yeah, so...
I'd like to blame the plow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is great. That was a real close game.
That is the closest game we've ever had. Yeah. Our previous closest game was 2 points. That is
You cannot get closer than that in this game. Because it does have half points.
It does have half points.
Very nice.
Woof. So there we go. In this game, I tried a strategy of basically what I try to do in like most Rosenbergs that I play, which is to get the baby production factory going. Because if you can set it up where the animals just are on, if you can get all of the animal pairs in like the first round or 2 of the game, and you can ensure that you're always getting as many babies as you can, that's great. And then the other thing with this one is that you can create a surplus of certain animal types, and then you can use that surplus to slaughter them for food, but more importantly for hides, and then hides you can convert to more points, because it's worth more points to have them converted, your most popular or your most populous animal to be converted to hides, because hides are like fabric is if you can convert hides into leather, it's 1 point per, but it takes you 2 turns to do it. But if you can do it and you have enough to make it worth it, that was my goal. and it was really tight, and it was skin of my teeth. And I lost a lot of points on my home board because I wasn't paying attention to, like, draining the swamp, and stuff, and there's more I could have done than that. That was good. Like, I have way too much food. Like, I got 5 points from having way too much food left over, which is not a problem necessarily, but, like, I feel like I could have been... I was planning and trying to get some of these, like, buildings that cost more food, but I didn't have the bricks or wood because I just wasn't upgrading the tools for that and, like, getting them, so...
My goal was to get 2 of these by the end of the game, and I spent too many actions doing too many things to get the 6 lumber and 6 bricks.
Yeah, it's a lot. You have to, to get those, you have to have the carts early, which was the other thing, is I wanted to have a cart early that could haul, and what I was realizing was I actually needed 2 carts, and I should have just bought, like, a horseless hand cart, but I didn't want to snuff out my horse production. Like, I wanted to make sure I always had horses being produced. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, those don't need horses, but they do take up space.
Well, no, the hand carts, yeah. So the hand carts is what I should have bought, but I was really tight on wood this game.
Yeah.
So that's Fields of Arle from Uwe Rosenberg.
Great game. A very, very close ending there.
Yeah. And that was 2 hours and 18 minutes, which includes the, like, 24 minute of, like, me talking and introducing the stream, and, like, us getting dinner for the dogs, and, like, chewies and stuff like, and talking to people, and, like, stuff. So, like, really, we can play this game now in an hour and a half, and that's still with some hemming and hawing.
Yeah.
Which, it says 60 minutes a player on the box. I feel like...
That's with the hemming and hawing. And,
when we started playing this game, that's where we were. But, like...
Yeah.
We did play it last night, so it's fresh in our memory.
But yeah, I think you can... As long as it's not your first game, I think you can...
And you have played recently or not?
Yeah.
Forever ago.
Like, even... Yeah. I think 60 minutes a player is basically allowing you to... Like, you're not going to feel rushed at 60 minutes a player.
Yeah. So that is the base game. So a lot of people, when we mentioned that we were going to be streaming this tonight, were, like, super like, oh my god, you have the expansion! And we do have the expansion. We got it recently in Reno. But we haven't actually punched it. We do have it. It's Fields of Arle Tea and Trade. So let's just change cameras. Boop, boop. There we go. So it's Fields of Arle, Tea and Trade. And so what happens is this actually adds the components for a 3rd player. What? So it adds the pieces, and then it adds a board that you can put over, like, this bottom part to make it support up to 3 players. And then it adds another board at the top for fishing boats and fishing. And so what you can do with the boats is you actually don't go fishing with them. You use them to trade for tea. And so they are boats, and there are locations on the boards, and basically you can send goods to locations indefinitely, so you can send them as much as you want, and they'll always take them, and they'll always give you stuff for them. And then tea, you can use sort of as like a booster or a wild card component.
Oh, that's a lot of punches in there.
There's a lot of punches, yeah. So I haven't punched them, but I did read the rules. So tea, you can, so these are the player boards that you add for your boats. So that one's not on. So, I'm just everywhere. So those are the boats that you add, and then there are new types of boats that you add, and the boats can have goods on them, and you can ship them to England or Norway or India and stuff like that. And so then you can have boats, so instead of like carts with horses. I see.
This is the,
Yeah, and then the tea, it gives you enough like carts and components to support a 3rd player, obviously. And then tea, like I was saying, is this is the 3rd player trading board. Yeah. So yeah, and then tea can be used as a wild to boost actions, and it's a half point at the end of the game. And then you can it's like raw tea, and then you convert it into like fancy tea. But I like how it's a crate on this side. It's a crate, right? And then you flip it, and it's a tea bag. So it's just these are the little cute things. And then there's a bunch of new buildings that you can add, because these buildings are all they're in every game, and then these buildings are random, and so they added more random buildings that you can add in that will like use T or leverage T. And then these are the boards to cover. So this is, if you're playing a 3-player game, you actually have less rounds. You have 7 rounds. And this is, you can imitate multiple times because there's 3 of you messing around in the space. So that's what that is.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to play this. And you
so
also...
there's also the wood for the other new player, I guess? I'm just curious what color.
Yes, it's blue.
Okay.
The other player's stuff is blue. And then this one, the digging spade, you put at the top of the thing, and so it introduces, there's a 2-player side and a 3-player side, but there's a new type of component, and it's a ditch. And ditches are awesome. So ditches you can use to help drain your fields faster. So you don't have to have the dikes lined up to do a ditch. You have to have a ditch connected to a dike, and then you can build a network of ditches, and it will drain out what is next to it. So if you get like ditches all the way down to your marshland, it will actually flip the marsh for you. So if this is this way, and I build a second ditch adjacent to my marsh, it will flip.
Huh.
Yeah. So the ditches, also with ditches, it allows you to put animals in the fields, and the animals will have babies in the fields if their fields are dry.
Whoa.
Yeah. So ditches, it makes it, you can drain land more quickly, and then you can do more interesting stuff with the ditches. So that's the ditch component. You're like dehydrating the land more, I guess. But yeah, and then it's got all the bits for
tea
the
factory.
Oh yeah, and then there's new buildings. There's new special buildings that you can slot over to do buildings that pertain to the tea stuff. So there's a tea factory and another type of church, and yeah. So if you like Fields of Arle and you're like, man, I really want to play with a 3rd player, this is a really good expansion for that.
So speaking of which, what would your thoughts be on how this might play with a 3rd player, given that it's 2 less rounds?
Well, I mean, but you can only play with a 3rd player if you play with the expansion.
Yeah.
Because of reasons, like balance reasons, like there needs to be more worker spaces, so there needs to be the 3rd thing. So I don't know, having not played the expansion yet, I don't know. I feel like this game is just so well balanced for 2-player, and I really, really enjoy it 2-player. Steve was like, oh, well, it's 3-player, we can play with John now. And I'm like, but John doesn't actually like these games. Like, John doesn't like Uwe Rosenberg worker placement games. Like, he'll play them, but he just doesn't, his brain doesn't work with them, and he doesn't like it as much. And so I was like, well, I don't know why we would ever play with the 3rd player unless someone came over and, like, they loved Uwe Rosenberg games, and we wanted to play this instead of, like, Caverna or something like that. Which we would do it, but, like, if we have 3 people over and they really want to play an Uwe Rosenberg game and we have the time, like, we're gonna play Caverna.
Yeah, we're gonna play Caverna.
Like,
or
that's...
I might push for Fields of Odin.
Feast for Odin. Yeah, so, like, if we have somebody come over that wants the 3-player... So, getting the expansion, we actually didn't even, like, think about the fact that it added a 3rd player when we picked it up. We just wanted it for the new resource type for us when we play just us. So yeah, that's the expansion, which we're gonna play with as soon as we play Fields of Arle a couple more times. Is the rule that we have made for this playing.
Well, I think because the expansion adds so many more buildings and different things to do. Like, yeah. I still haven't fully explored everything there is to do in the base game, and like all the different types of buildings and stuff like that.
For sure. No, don't punch it. I'm just getting these out because of reasons. But I don't want to punch them yet because we still have the other game out on the board. So that is Fields of Arle and the expansion, which is called Tea and Trade. And also, this is just a fun thing. So the rulebook for the expansion is 4 pages, I think. But this is nerd heaven. This is a 35-page book about the history of East Frisia, which is the region that this game takes place. And there's like pictures of historic buildings, and they explain and talk about why like they did things they did in the game design. And there's like pictures of the boats, and there's like they talk about how they tie everything into yeah, they talk about why they tie everything in, like how it is relevant to the game and how it ties in, and like why the cows in this game have spots. It's because they're called black-pied cattle. It's a type of cattle raised specifically in this area, and it's characterized by a long-lasting fertile life. And they're not required. They also don't eat as much food, so it's like a cattle that's like specifically bred and raised in this area. So the stickers aren't just to be cute. It's like that. Those are these cows. So yeah, and then they talk about the horse breeding and how this area they have a specific type of breeding horse called Frisians because they're raised in this region and they're black, and that's why the horses are black as opposed to like dark brown like they are in Caverna. There's just like, or not Caverna, Agricola. So like this giant
I did not know that was in there.
Giant nerd book, and it talks about the flooding zones and why the plows in the game look the way they do because they need to because of the flooding. Like you need to be able to pull it over flooded areas. And they talk about like the different buildings and why there's buildings like in the game. It's just crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really like this book is fantastic. Steve's gonna nerd out about the book. So that is the expansion. They didn't do that in the base game, but there is some like history information in the base game box. But yeah. So if you're curious about the expansion, that's what the expansion adds, and the expansion was done with Uwe Rosenberg and Tito Lorenz. And I'm not sure, the name seems vaguely familiar. So that is that. And we're probably gonna like punch it and nerd out about it as soon as we put this away. But because of like things with some of the buildings and tiles, I think we might keep it separate. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Also, just recently I haven't really wanted to play some of our like favorite games because I haven't wanted to like separate the game from the expansion or like things like that. So and now we have more space because we've been clearing games out, so maybe we'll
actually when I
have less joining of games.
When I punched Zaya, I actually punched the base game and the expansion into two separate boxes, and then played it once, and then went, there's basically no reason to play this without the expansion, and then I mixed it all together.
Yes.
Partly because you have to shuffle decks and stuff together, and it's just like, once it's shuffled, there's kind of no going back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, with like replacement boards, replacement things, it was like, it just made more sense to combine. But I did, at first, I was like, okay, yeah. But yeah.
Cool. So we gotta reset all of our stuff for player boards.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. I'll stop doing that and do the sign off for the stream. How about that? That's smart, right? Okay, let's do that. Thank you for tuning in and watching tonight's game of Fields of Arle with us. We really like this game, and so we haven't streamed it yet because we tend to stream New Hotness, and this is the time period before New Hotness comes out. Where we can kind of revisit our older titles that have been out for a while that we really enjoy. Yeah. So, yeah. Speaking of, we'll be playing Star Wars Edge of the Empire, which is a role-playing game, and it came out quite a number of years ago. But we'll be playing that on Thursday. It is episode 2 in a series that we are doing with Fiddleback, or Brian Casey. He is our GM. He's writing the story, and we're just playing in it, and it's awesome. So tune in on Thursday. I will post the first episode probably tomorrow. I will try and remember to do that so that you can catch up and figure out what's going on in the first episode. And then you'll be up and ready for the second episode, which is at 7:30 on Thursday. So,
and if you don't want to watch Star Wars, what are we streaming next Tuesday?
If you don't want to watch Star Wars and you're just here for the board games, next Tuesday, John should be back with us, and so I forget what we said we would stream if John was here. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
It'll be a game with John.
It'll be a game with John. It might be, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It might be Thurn and Taxis. It might be, a card game. We might do a double header stream.
We'll figure it out. But it'll be a John stream.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cool.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. If you were hanging out in the chat, we like when people hang out in the chat. That's why we keep doing these. Otherwise, I feel so far from Steve, but he's like literally right there. But on the screen, he's so far from me.
Whoa, I have 2 arms.
You do have 2 arms.
Okay.
So yeah, okay, cool. Tune in Thursday for Star Wars and next Tuesday for more board games. I don't know what we'll play. Yeah.
All right. Good night, Internet.
Good night.
Good night, Internet 1 and Internet 2.
Yeah. Heroic Logic says he'll come if there's cows.
Sounds good.
We have lots of games with cows, but we've streamed a lot of them, so yeah. All right, cool.
All
Good
right,
night.
Good night.